first off, we're really excited to announce our Series A, which is our first meaningful investment round, $25 million, which we just closed recently, and very excited about the opportunity it's going to give us to accelerate our vision from a product, employee, and brand standpoint. I graduated from Penn 2013. I started working on what was known as Ad Trip back then, based on an idea a professor of mine gave me. His name was Karthik Hosanagar. He was the push that got me into entrepreneurship and helped me fall in love with the game. The way I met Eniac, and specifically Nahal, was through a friend at Penn who I haven't spoken to in a long time. So if she listens to this, shout out to Beth Dorn. She was good friends with a woman named Amanda Tates, whose little brother was David Tates, who was Nahal's assistant at the time. And I think he was about to go to college. And so Nahal was looking for a new assistant. And I met Nahal through the premise of, hey, like, I'm really into startups. Like, if you need someone, I'll do whatever it takes to be a helpful assistant. And so I met Nahal through just a job, basically through that job. I didn't tell him I was working on a startup on the side. It wasn't important to share that. It was like, I'm just going to work really hard, learn from this individual. And what ended up happening through, I think, like, I would walk Nahal's dog Stan and pick up Stan's dog poop and build the couches in their first Eniac office, which is like the second floor of Nahal's apartment. And then, you spend enough time together. I was just sharing, I'm working on this thing. I have my co-founder Harrison, and Nahal's the one who jumped the gun. Like, I would never dare. I did not have any of the confidence back then to ask for money or raise money, but he saw something in us before Harrison and I saw something in ourselves to, be like, hey, we deserve money at this point, which we're very grateful for. The inspiration to start a company came from a professor of mine, and it was all about technology, cool technology to apply in the world of ad tech. And that attracted me and my co-founder to want to start a business together. And we're very thankful in the sense that it got us in the game. We were now playing the game, and we fell in love with the craft and the art of entrepreneurship, not the raising money, not the revenue, not telling other people we're entrepreneurs, but like, we started to fall in love with just a genuine craft of like building and doing something very tough. And I think both of us have the no pain, no gain type of mindset, which we're very fortunate about. And it also helped just like the internet. Thank God there was so much content on startups, even in 2013, about the Fred Wilsons and the Mark Susters. I would read everything avidly. And what it did is it gave me just a ton of perspective that you go through ups and downs. You go through ups and downs. If you're not willing to go through the ups and downs, you should get out of the game.
Yeah, I actually have like some anecdotes, some vivid memories of like Vasu building like, the third version of like MaestroIQ, and it's this like journey builder, like crazy, insane tech, showing like the user journey through this whole funnel. And I remember Hadley would come to some of these board meetings, and we would just kind of like stare at it. Like Vasu would show us a demo, and we kind of stare at it and like not say anything. And I think Vasu would kind of like understand what we were saying without us saying it, right, Vasu?
It was just like so complicated to explain. Like, no matter how cool the tech was, it was just like, and then it's just like, you had to be a scientist to understand this silly little GUI. But we were so proud of it, and it taught us a lot again. Lessons that we're actually now reapplying today. Nahal and Hadley had tough conversations with me, asked me if it's working, and put me on real goals. And so it's not like they were just like, go for it. But if I had to be, my version of it is like, there was nothing they could tell me. They're like, I had the money. Like, I wasn't going to give it back or like stop or quit. So like, ultimately my thing there is like, it's good they have those conversations, because you got to listen to them and the reality shocks of what the perception of your progress is. But like, there was no way I was going to give it back, or stop.
One of our mentors, Mike Maples at Floodgate, says the best founders don't listen to investors. The best founders, like, literally they have so much conviction, whether that's good or bad, that they'll take in data inputs, but they're not listening.
The way we knew we were onto something was, we got 3 early customers that we partnered very closely with. I would go into their office and get all the feedback on a daily basis, as much as they'd let me come in. It was Bonobos, Blue Apron, and Harry's Razors. And that was like an early sign we were onto something, because they liked the product, was solving it. They were paying a little bit for it. But this is why, like, Jason Lemkin, who's an investor in us now, and I'm so fortunate because he was his content online pointed us in the direction of giving us confidence very early on. Was he had this post that says, if you just get 10 unaffiliated customers that you're not friends with, customers that aren't friends of friends, just from all over, just unaffiliated, you're onto something. And that's such a golden insight. And I'll talk about that with their team, that we would get randomly, our third or fourth customer was this company called Sophos, someone from India coming in, found our website and requesting. And I remember looking at them like, this isn't real, like, is this for real? And then I get on the call, I'm like, you're so suspect and suspicious because you got burnt so badly on your previous startup. Are you sure you're going to buy it? What's the problem? Like, you in some way you're constantly investigating. And we got to like 10 customers and they were so random and they were coming to us that we knew we were onto something then.